Now, your Storm Tracker 13 forecast first.
Clouds have been rolling in. We do have rain not too far to the west. We'll see mostly cloudy skies tonight. Can't rule out a few showers across the PD and in North Carolina, but better rain chances will wait until tomorrow. And a lot of rain all the way back to our west. That is heading our way for tomorrow as well. Our forecast for tonight, it will stay mostly cloudy. By tomorrow morning, rain developing, continuing into the afternoon, and then it gets much colder on Thursday. I'll have more on that forecast coming up in a few more minutes.
Right now on News 13 at 11, President Trump could have a tax reform bill on his desk as early as tomorrow, pending a vote by the Senate and a revote by the House. And officials in one eastern Carolina county concerned a chemical found in water in the neighboring counties may end up in the local water supply.
Plus, local first responders reunite with a 1-year-old they helped save after he nearly drowned last month. I'll bring you the full story coming up.
News 13 and 11 starts now.
Good Tuesday evening to you. I'm Megan Miller. Bob has the night off. First up at 11, a tax reform bill could be on President Trump's desk by tomorrow. The Senate is expected to vote on it tonight, but as Weijia Jiang reports, because of a glitch, the House will vote on it once again tomorrow.
The Republican tax plan is on the verge of becoming the law of the land. The Senate is scheduled to vote on the bill tonight. It's expected to pass without the support of a single Democrat.
The motion to reconsider is laid upon the table.
The House actually approved the tax bill first, largely along party lines.
The American people placed their trust in us to do this work for them. And today, we're making good on that promise.
The Speaker's words turned out to be premature. After the bill arrived in the Senate, Democrats found 3 provisions that violated the chamber's rules. The House will have to vote on the amended bill tomorrow.
There was not one single hearing with respect to the specifics of the bill.
Opponents condemned the GOP tax plan as a giveaway to corporations and the wealthy.
What we are seeing today in an unprecedented way is the looting of the federal treasury.
Republican leaders insist the bill will benefit everyone.
If you look at the last 8 years, America has consistently underperformed. Not 1 year of 3% growth, not one. That's not the best America can do.
Independent studies say most taxpayers will save money next year, but by 2027, more than half will pay more than they do now.
The title says it all. This bill will deliver tax cuts and new jobs for hard-working Americans.
Barring another unexpected setback, Congress could send the bill to the president's desk by tomorrow. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The last time Congress overhauled the nation's tax code was back in 1986 when it passed the Senate in a 74-23 vote. Earlier today, we caught up with Congressman Tom Rice on why he supported the plan.
I am thrilled. This bill will make America competitive again. It will grow our economy. It'll create millions of jobs, and it'll finally give our middle class the raise they deserve after 30 years of stagnant wages.
The only South Carolina representative to vote against the plan was the only Democrat 6th District Congressman James Clyburn. New tonight at 11, Robeson County officials fear Gen X may enter the county's water supply after the chemical was found not only in water but also honey in surrounding counties. News 13's Teresa Galasso spoke with Robeson County officials about that chemical and the possible threat it poses.
It's only a matter of time before it's going to be in Robeson County.
Bill Smith is the director of the Robeson County Health Department. He says the chemical used to make Teflon, Gen X, may soon be in Robeson County water.
Now, we got notice today that there was another elevation of its levels in the river, and there should be none because they've stopped the contamination.
He's talking about the Cape Fear River in which Gen X was found. Smith says the Lumber River Basin sits below the Cape Fear River, and he worries the chemical will transfer if it hasn't already.
Anytime it rains, everything washes in. And so this may have been in their water for some time and they've never known it.
State health officials say test results show elevated levels of Gen X in private wells and other bodies of water. Smith says the source is the Chemours facility in Fayetteville, and both the North Carolina State Department of Environment and labs contracted by Chemours are testing the water.
We're still outside the the circle that they're testing. I think they're going to probably widen it shortly.
Gen X was recently found in Honey and Bladen County, which neighbors Robeson. Smith says he worries the chemical is airborne, but says Gen X is far more dangerous in water.
You would have to have a spoonful of honey per minute for the rest of your life to get what you would get in water.
President of the Robeson County Beekeepers Association, Terry Nunnery, says he's concerned as both a beekeeper and resident.
We don't know what's coming down the pipeline. You know, we're trying to fight diseases and pests, and you know, then something like this is added to the fire, you know, it just makes it even worse.
In Robeson County, Teresa Galasso, News 13.
Smith says Robeson County will most likely be tested for Gen X by the North Carolina State Department of Environment next year. Back in June, Chemours said it would safely dispose of wastewater that contains Gen X. It also said at that time the company did not think the emissions from its Fayetteville facility impacted the safety of drinking water. Horry County Police, meanwhile, think they have a killer in custody tonight. Saswan Simmons is 21 and now charged with murder in the death of 22-year-old Jahai Mishu. Police say it happened around 1:30 Sunday morning at a home on Willow Road just south of Conway. Officials called to the home about a shooting say they found Mishu shot several times. Marion Police asked for your help finding the man in these photos. Authorities call him a person of interest in a bank robbery that happened last week. Marion Police say the man in this surveillance photo robbed the Anderson Brothers Bank branch on North Main Street Friday morning. We've posted all these photos for you to take a longer look online at WBTW.com. Anyone out there with information is asked to call their local police. Today marks 1 month since a team of Horry County first responders answered a call for an unresponsive child near Loris. No one was even sure if the 1-year-old would live when he was flown to McLeod Regional Medical Center in Florence. But News 13's Abby O'Brien was there today when doctors and first responders were reunited with the little boy.
Horry County Fire Rescue Captain Mark Nugent called this a low-frequency, high-risk operation. That means it's one that's not performed on a regular basis.
What we have is a true success story right here.
On Tuesday afternoon,
that we don't see a whole lot
at Horry County Fire Station 15.
With a case like this. So for that, we're privileged and proud.
A celebration of life. 1-year-old Bentley Martin met with first responders and doctors who stepped in 1 month ago.
It's emotional for us.
Last month, he got out of a back door and fell into a pool.
It was one of the scariest times I ever remember. I mean, I don't know. I don't even really want to think about it, to tell you the truth.
Teamwork between his family, first responders, and doctors saved his life.
We decided to do a get-together just a few days before Christmas to allow our crews to see a success story. It's not something we get every day, and our crews don't always get the good outcomes. So when we have them, we'd like to celebrate them.
A time for his mom to say thank you.
It feels good. I guess I couldn't say it enough because he's here today, and when it all happened, I didn't think it was going to make it.
And a time for the first responders to say it's what makes the job worth it.
It's super amazing. It's very heartwarming, and we're very humbled to have been chosen to be a part of this journey.
While Bentley may be too young to remember this day, his family will be sure to tell him this story and about all those who made it possible. Everyone from the dispatchers to the helicopter nurses was there for Bentley today. Firefighters even got him a toy fire truck for Christmas. Reporting for News 13, I'm Abby O'Brien.
Great story. Thanks, Abby. Myrtle Beach city leaders will consider plans to improve cell service for residents and visitors. New cell phone towers would provide 5G service, but may affect the look of the city. That would mean building new towers in downtown Myrtle Beach. These are some of the proposed towers that city leaders saw in a presentation. The city has worked to move telephone and cable wires underground to improve the appearance of the area in previous years. City spokesperson Mark Crua says the prospect of new cell towers will leave city leaders with a big challenge.
We need to be ready to act to make sure that we're protecting our livability here, to make sure that we're not making things ugly in the name of providing more access to the wireless world.
Crua says there's no plan regarding where these towers would go just yet. He says it's an issue the new city council may address next year. A Low-Country group filed a lawsuit against the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and the EPA over the proposed Interstate 73. That interstate would run from Myrtle Beach the whole way up to Michigan. The South Carolina Coastal Conservation League wants the federal agencies to look at an alternative plan called the Grand Strand Expressway. The expressway would connect Myrtle Beach to I-95. The group claims it would save $2 billion over the I-73 plan, be more environmentally friendly, and protect businesses in the PD region. In response to the lawsuit, Myrtle Beach Area Chamber of Commerce President Brad Dean said in part, quote, "State and federal agencies worked hard to develop a comprehensive plan for I-73, placing it north of Highway 501 while maintaining strong emphasis on meeting all environmental regulations and minimizing the impact on the environment," end quote. Well, people in Florence can now use the ride-sharing app Uber. Florence Chamber of Commerce President Michael Miller says businesses and restaurants in the area requested the credit card-driven app. Chamber officials predict as more drivers sign on, Uber may branch out to surrounding cities like Darlington or Hartsville. Local taxi drivers say Uber drivers should have to pay business license and comparable insurance fees.
We're trying to build our business up, and here comes another cab company coming to Florence. I don't think that's right. I mean, if they could come here, have them pay the same fees that we pay.
Chamber officials say people interested in driving for Uber can apply online. We've posted more info for you at WBTW.com. Coming up next on News 13 at 11, investigators in Washington State uncover new details that may help them figure out what caused this deadly train derailment.
Temperatures in the 70s, and after that sunny, warm day today, we do have changes. Some clouds moving in tonight, rain not too far away, and we do have some cooler weather on the way as well. I'll let you know when we'll see that rain and the cooler weather coming up.
Investigators on the scene of a deadly train derailment in Washington State say it appears the emergency brake kicked in automatically. Data recorders show the Amtrak train was going too fast, and as Chris Martinez reports, there are questions about whether the engineer may have been distracted by another person.
Oversized load trucks hauled away the mangled train cars that flew off the tracks in Washington State Monday. The event data recorder shows the Amtrak train was traveling at 80 miles per hour in a 30-mile-per-hour zone.
We were able to obtain the inward and outward facing cameras. They were unfortunately significantly damaged.
At least 3 people were killed and dozens were injured on the maiden voyage of this newly opened train line. Drivers who saw the wreck stopped to help victims.
Everybody that was inside was either killed or pinned underneath the train. Yeah, it was pretty sobering.
The NTSB confirms that in addition to the engineer present in the locomotive cab, there was also a conductor learning the route. All of the crew was hospitalized.
We have to keep this as a wake-up call. It's not acceptable that we are involved in these kinds of accidents.
NTSB investigators say it appears the emergency brake kicked in automatically rather than being activated by the engineer. Technology known as positive train control could have slowed or stopped the train, possibly preventing the crash. But it was not in use on that stretch of track. Congress pushed back the mandatory implementation of PTC until the end of next year.
Railroads basically went to Congress and said we're not going to operate unless we get relief. You couldn't just stop America's railroads. Congress caved in.
The damaged train cars are being taken to nearby Joint Base Lewis McChord for further inspection. Chris Martinez, CBS News, DuPont, Washington.
At least 12 tourists were killed and 18 others injured in a bus crash in Mexico. The bus was headed to the Mayan ruins, a very popular tourist spot. Officials for Royal Caribbean Cruise Line say 27 people on the bus were guests from 2 of their ships. The bus carried 31 tourists from the United States, Brazil, and Sweden. The cause of that crash tonight is still under investigation. And this baby girl now holds the all-time record for the longest frozen embryo to come to birth. Meet Emma Wren, absolutely beautiful there. Her embryo was frozen on October 14th, 1992, and born to a Knoxville, Tennessee couple about a month ago. Emma was thawed at the National Embryo Donation Center in Knoxville back on March 13th and transferred to her new mom 2 days later. Next on News 13 at 11, a holiday surprise from one Grand Strand High School football team, the people who live at a local nursing home. Welcome back. This is News 13 at 11. Members of the Socastee High School football team played Santa and also spread some holiday cheer today. The team collected teddy bears and other stuffed animals and delivered them to seniors at the Grand Strand Nursing Home in Socastee. It's an annual event for the team, and the people at the nursing home get an early chance to enjoy Christmas.
It's not just the idea that, you're getting something. And I mean, what they're getting is pretty nice things. People have really been generous. But like I say, it's the smiles when they walk in and you just see people's faces light up.
Certainly is. In addition to all the gift giving, team members also took some time to sit down and talk with the nursing home residents. And over in Marion County, a holiday gift for the Nichols Library. The group's Katrina's Kids presented a $1,000 community grant from Walmart to the Marion County Library System to go to the Nichols location.
This donation in particular will be helping us to refurbish the children's area. It shows, to us that the community is really interested in seeing us back here and helping out.
Katrina's Kids, founded by State Senator Katrina Shealy, serves children in foster care all across South Carolina. And speaking of the holidays, hopefully it's going to start feeling like the holidays around here pretty soon.
Yeah, well, it will. We have a little bit of a cool down coming in a couple of days and then a major cool down next week. I'll have more on that chilly forecast up next.
And now, here's your Storm Tracker 13 forecast.
Storm system moving across the southern plains, bringing a lot of rain. Great news. They've been a couple of months without any rain across parts of Oklahoma and Texas. They got some good soaking rain today, even some thunderstorms across eastern parts of Texas. And this storm system is heading our way for tomorrow. We've seen the clouds move in this evening, even a few showers west of I-95. That'll be possible overnight tonight, a few light isolated showers, but the much better chance for rain will come tomorrow. And some spots will see over an inch of rain tomorrow, especially inland areas across the PD. Our forecast showing the mostly cloudy skies, early morning showers developing after about 3 o'clock in the morning. And when we wake up tomorrow morning, most of the rain is going to be across our northern counties into North Carolina. It'll likely start raining first thing in the morning in Lumberton, and then heading toward later morning, that rain will sink southward in toward Florence, and by afternoon toward the Grand Strand in the Myrtle Beach area. Bottom line is we've got the rain coming in, and we will see several hours of rain tomorrow. Headlines for tonight: clouds thickening up, rain for tomorrow, and then as the storm system moves away on Thursday, it's going to stay cloudy, and it's going to be much colder. Temperatures only in the 50s for highs on Thursday, but just a one-day cool down. We warm right back up again on Friday. If you're traveling tomorrow, expect slowdowns across the Carolinas because of the rain, but notice temperatures 50s, 60s, even 70s once you get down toward Georgia. So it's going to be plenty warm, not worried about any wintry weather. And if you're heading west on I-95, it's going to be raining through Columbia toward Atlanta. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s as you get toward parts of Alabama into Mississippi as well. And still scattered showers across areas once you get west of Atlanta, but once you get toward Mississippi, it's going to start to dry out, but it will be warm. Cold air across the northern plains and starting to get stormy across the west coast, but all in all, not really bad travel across the U.S. tomorrow. There's that storm system coming in, bringing us the rain tomorrow. Could see some heavier rain amounts, with some spots seeing over an inch of rain, and then moving away tomorrow night. But notice on Thursday, the clouds will linger, and that's going to keep us on the chilly side, only in the 50s on Thursday, but it warms right back up again on Friday. For tonight, mostly cloudy, a mild night, temperatures only getting down into the middle 50s for our overnight lows. May see a few isolated showers across the PD, but not looking at anything heavy overnight tonight. For tomorrow, mostly cloudy with the on and off periods of rain. Still pretty mild. We'll be in the middle 60s for tomorrow. In some spots, we'll see some fairly heavy rain tomorrow as well. 3-degree guarantee. The forecast in Marion is 66 degrees. If I can get that within 3 degrees, Glass Pro will donate another $100 to David's Blankets of Hope. 7-day forecast looking at the cooler weather coming in on Thursday, but then warming right back up. 60s on Friday, 70s coming up on Saturday. Next cold front will be slowly moving across our area on Sunday. That'll give us a few showers around late Saturday. Good chance for rain on Sunday, and then cooling it down into the 60s on Sunday and only in the 50s for Christmas Day. And it looks like this time around, next week, that cold weather is going to hang out for a while.
Then it'll feel like Christmas at least.
Just in time for Christmas.
All right, thanks, Frank. Well, tomorrow is December 20th, but have you heard it's also Go Caroling Day? Some of you may also want to celebrate Sangria Day, and South Carolina became the first state to secede from the Union 157 years ago tomorrow. Actor Jonah Hill turns 34. Record producer and musician Alan Parson will be 69. And Gladys Gregg of Darlington will be a young 66. Coming up next, not one but two college basketball coaches reaching incredible milestones tonight. And highlights from the big showdown in Clemson. We're talking the Tigers and the Gamecocks. Coming up right after the break on News 13.
With tonight's sports, here's Chris Parks from the Judd Kuhn Chevrolet Sports Desk.
College hoops taking center stage today. That includes the Palmetto State showdown between South Carolina and Clemson. Both squads riding high. Gamecocks have won 3 in a row. The Tigers, they have won 5 straight games. And Clemson looking to make it back-to-back seasons with wins over the Gamecocks. First half action, USC down by 9, but Chris Silva gets the ball in the paint and hammers it home here for a pair. We picking up with the game tied at 19. Marquise Reed, reigning ACC Player of the Week, drops a triple. He finished with 25. Later on, the Tigers leading by 5 now. Gabe DeVoe going straight to the rack off the window. Clemson, they would lead by 5 at the break. And then they open it up in the second half. On the fast break, Sheldon Mitchell gets the crowd going here. Some more nice passing here. Ball ends in the hands of Elijah Thomas. No problem there. Clemson looking stout so far this season. That is win number 10 for the Tigers as they take it 64-48, the final score. In Florence, the Francis Marion men's basketball team, they are red hot coming out of the gate. 7 wins in 7 games and getting votes in the latest Division II Top 25 poll. The Patriots taking on Columbus State tonight. The guys looking to continue their stellar start to this young season. In the first half, the guys trailing by 6, but FMU's Brandon Parker hits the 3 there, cuts that lead down to 6-3. More from Parker. He's going to slash to the bucket here with the layup. It's 9-7 FMU. Parker had 18 points. Then off the miss, it's Kingsley Wegboso. Gets the rebound and put back here. 2 points there for FMU. The Patriots, they remain perfect. They win again, 90-81 over Columbus State. The ladies also hosting Columbus State. This one came all the way down to the wire. Game tied at 64. Lake City native Shantice Fillmore puts the Patriots up by 3, 77-74. They were down 1 at this point. Brianna Burgeon scores her 1,000th point on this bucket. It's 79-78 FMU. 4 seconds left. Columbus State's going to throw up an air ball here as time does run out. The Lady Pats win a wild one at home. 79-78 the final in that one. Well, North Carolina women's basketball coach Sylvia Hatchell got her start at Francis Marion. That came back in the 1970s. Fast forward to now, she's on the cusp now of 1,000 career victories. There's a look at Hatchell. Her UNC ladies off to a nice 9-2 start this season. They were in Myrtle Beach for a game. Third quarter close game. Jamie Cherry on the wing here. Knocks down the triple. The Tar Heels take a 52-47 advantage. Then it's Paris Key. Starts to heat up here a dribble. She pops a jump shot a little bit later on. She's going to step back and connect on this mid-range jumper here. She helps Coach Hatchell win her 1,000th career game, 79-63 the final. Afterwards, plenty of celebrations, hugs. Many fans came down to witness history, and she talked about Francis Marion, too.
Francis Marion, I just loved it there. You know, I had an apartment, but really didn't need it because I was never there. I stayed at school all the time. But, you know, the opportunities they gave me and the kids I had then, oh, gosh, a bunch of them were here tonight.
Hatchell spent 11 years as the Patriots head coach, won over 270 games in Florence before going to Chapel Hill in the mid-'80s, where she's been the coach there for 32 years. If that wasn't enough, UConn women's head coach Gino Auriemma did the same exact thing today. I mean, what are the odds of that happening? He won his 1,000th game as well, too, 88-64. He's coached there since 1985. 11 national titles for him as well, too. 2 1,000 game winners in one day.
And final weather.
Oh, rain coming in tomorrow, then much cooler on Thursday.
All right, thanks, Frank. And for all of us here at News 13, have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.